Hi, everybody. Don't mind that hum. I got this thing going behind me, and I don't. It changes the color on the screen. I've also been looking directly at it, so my vision is really not good right now. Let's see. What does this do? Oh, okay. That removes the stars. Oh, it just got stars now. And stars. Oh, yeah. I don't know what this does. What does this do? Oh, that. No, we don't want that. We want it as bright as possible. We could slow it down. Dude, I can see the. I hope that doesn't affect the video. It probably will. Speed it up. Oh, yeah. So this is going to play right now. Back to the video. Part 5 Aruski. She was about to talk. The holla at the bottom.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. You were not supposed to get emotional, Sheikh Hamza.
I know. I apologize.
I
Yeah.
tried not to get emotional too. I think it's over close to 100 people from my extended family that's been killed so far. We have a large family. We've been in Gaza for generations before 1948, and so we have, we have roots there, and so um, we're very devastated. But at the same time, we have taqwa, and we have heart, and we have faith, and we have to be strong for all of them, for all of them. And also, for me, I don't condone any killing of any innocent life, regardless of who it is. We work in this multi-faith communities that we work in, so we value all of life, and we must protect it. Um, but I'm not here just as a more of an interfaith person. I'm here to kind of talk about some of the things that we can do. First of all, I want to say I am so proud of the community. I am so proud of the Muslim Arab community and allies. I've been doing this work for 25 years, and I have never seen, as devastating as this war and the situation has been for 2 months, I have never seen this community come together for something, because this is no longer about Gazans or Palestinians or Muslims. It's about humanity, and it's about human rights, and it's about just the dignity of life, and dignifying life. And so to see the community, kids and 80-year-olds, protesting and marching, has been a very, very powerful thing. And so I am so proud. So I just want to start by saying, this has really brought this community together in a way that I have never seen it ever before. So alhamdulillah, and thank you to all that have been going to protest and doing that. So I just want to just brush, and we can do a separate conversation, but just want to kind of give you a macro level of the importance and why you see certain groups succeeding more, having more power than others, um, is really because of relationships. In our civil and political societies, cultivating and sustaining relationships are critical, and having diverse and as many relationships and allies as possible is really power. And I believe this is where we need to do more and better. And I really want to just talk about a few areas around family, around places of worship, around philanthropic efforts, and then, of course, around politics, and engaging our public officials. The one thing about this country is built on two numbers: number of votes and number of dollars raised. So when you're talking, regardless if you're a Republican or a Democrat or whatever you are, this country is really about the people that win, and the people in power know how to count those. But the one good thing about this, about numbers, is that we as Muslims and as Arabs and people of faith are growing in large numbers. And I think one thing they underestimate is, because we're Muslim, we're Black Muslim, we're Chinese Muslim, we're white Muslim, we're Latino Muslim, we're Asian Muslim, we're Pakistani Muslim. And many of us don't say we're Muslim. Like, under the census, it doesn't have different categories. So sometimes we're not categorized. And so they don't realize that we are really impacting. Biden won in 2020 because of three main categories of people: the women, the Black vote and the Muslim vote. If he did not win Michigan, he would have lost. Michigan was critical, and it was because of the Muslim and Arab vote. And so I think that's why you're seeing a lot of articles and news about the fact that a lot of people are upset right now, and he may lose his reelection because of the Muslim and Arab vote. And not just in Michigan, we're talking about Virginia, Arizona, Pennsylvania. And then we were talking down the ballot, we're talking about Ohio and Texas, and we're talking about Florida. So I want you guys to know, like, our voices matter.
To be fair, the other person doesn't want them in the country. So vote for the other side then, if that's how you feel. I'll still be here.
Votes matter. And I know some people are really upset now, and they're like, we're not going to vote. You need to vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but you need to show our numbers. And right now is a really critical time in our country's history to show our power, especially our power, because the truth is, we've never had a seat at the table. And Sheikh Hamza knows this, whether it's me or others, we've had to create our own tables. And that's what we're doing right now. And so, first of all, when it comes to family, I think one missing component is our families. We don't sit around the table and say, hey, let's read the ballot. Let's see who's affecting us. School board races are critical. That is the entryway. Most people think, oh, it's just a school board. I don't have children, or my children is grown. But those school board races are so important because they end up running for mayor. Then that's his platform and a stage where they run for assembly or state senate and then governor. So we need to, as a family, really have those dinner conversations around the table about why it is important for if you're in Sunnyvale or in San Ramon, regardless of where you are, those races are critical. And so as a family, I think we need to do that. The other part about family is that a lot of us in the Muslim community, and I fight this with a lot of my friends, they want their kids to go to medical school, law school, accounting, tech. We really need to get our little children to start thinking about being journalists, working for the government. We need to have better representation. And I really love Islamic Scholarship Fund, really love what Zaytuna College are doing, but we really need to start creating a pipeline for the PR part of this that Chris Hedges is talking about. And so I really encourage you guys to think of ways of how to diversify our pipeline for students so that they have more to look at. And the other one is places of worship. We have, alhamdulillah, in California, amazing places of worship, especially in Santa Clara, where Sheikh Hamza lives, and then in LA. The reality is we do a lot of internal facing, but we're not doing external facing events. We need to really open our places of worship. We need to start having community iftars that are for non-Muslims. I know we do it once in a while, but we really need to do it not just also when we're in crisis mode, but also just for happier times. The other thing that's important, we need to desegregate our places of worship. In San Francisco in particular, we just have the Yemeni that just does Yemeni, then the Iraqi, then the Black. We really need to do a better job of desegregating and doing more of a multi-faith engagement and invite the Jewish members of our community, our Hindus, our Christian and Catholic. I think the problem is right now, everyone has gone to their corners, and this is not also healthy, because we really need to establish relationships with them and show them who we are. I say this all the time, like, we as Muslims, we are a beautiful people. We are generous, we are hospitable, we are humble. We would give you the shirt off our backs, we would give you the food off our plates. So we need to show non-Muslims, non-Arabs, that's who we are, that we are not what the media is trying to portray us to be, or a small group of powerful right-wing racists, what they're trying to show. So please, like, one of the things that we need to do more is open your hearts and open your doors so that invite your neighbors. Even if it's a hard thing to do, invite them, include them at your homes, at your Eid parties, at your picnics. Choose. And I also say this, like, we need to have allies. It hurts me when Muslims and Arabs are not hanging out with their African American friends or their Latino friends or their Filipino friends. This is where we are at a disadvantage, where the other folks, that's what they're doing. They're everywhere. and they look like they're the hospitable and they're the righteous, and no, but we are too. We need to do more and be better at that. So please, I really encourage all of you, if you have cultural centers or places of worship that you're leading, to do more of that. And then about community and philanthropic initiatives.
When I was growing up, first place that I lived at after I was born, my next door neighbors were Muslim from Pakistan. I called him Kevin. His name was not Kevin, it was Mike. Kevin was his brother. But Mike, Muna, and then Mustafa and Kareem were the brothers. They were always nice to me. Them being Muslim didn't mean anything to me. I do remember going outside playing, and Mustafa would be playing, and then he had to come inside and pray. Okay, like we'll be out here running around the playground. And the playground was it was condos, all these condominiums. Playground was out there, so he'd go inside, pray, come back out. So it was okay. He was gone for 15 minutes or so. He'd come back out, and we were like, all right, we're back to playing on the monkey bars and the swings and going down the slide. Like it was nothing. But as I got older, I knew a couple Jewish people. I couldn't come in their house. Friends with them, could not come in their house because I wasn't Jewish. Don't know if that was the rule. Maybe the parents just really didn't like me. Don't know. Could not come in the house. Treated much differently from one side to the other. Grew up though with one. Did not grow up with the other. Don't know if their parents didn't like me. Don't know what it was. I wasn't allowed in their house. Was treated vastly different. If I would look at how I was treated, which would I rather be treated by? Well, yeah. Give me Mike and Muna. Mustafa Kareem. The religion aspect was never thought of, never brought up. We were different. And I only knew that because they didn't have Christmas, and we did. And again, Christmas to us is not religious. I understand that some people it is, but to us it wasn't. It was about Santa Claus and getting gifts. It still is today. It's not religious to me. How other people choose to do it, that's their belief. It's their thing. It's family, it's gifts, it's giving, it's good food. That's what it's always been to me. But how I was treated, vastly different. That's that machine, okay? How I was treated was vastly different. And how I would have wanted to be treated, I got treated as a human being on one where, you know, I could go in their house. They would give me water. They'd give me tea. She made some rice. Oh my goodness. Every time she made rice, I ate it. And it wasn't just like white rice. It was, I don't know what, I don't even know what it was called. It was, I used to just call it Muna's rice. And it was just like a Muslim, I don't know what it was, but it was good. Yeah, couldn't even go in the other people's house. So, just saying, was treated differently.
The other thing that we're not doing is we're not doing philanthropy outside. We need to start doing more with like the American Red Cross or the American Cancer Society. You guys say, well, that's not politics, but it is. This is where a lot of these major sponsors and fundraisers and donors to buildings and to City Hall and to politicians are also the chairs of these organizations. And we need to have more of us working in these spaces, joining boards, volunteering, giving blood. And again, we need to be more active. And so when we call on them, when there's a problem on a board of supervisor issue, or when we have a visual and we need them to come to one of our prayer services, that they have an existing relationship with us, that they feel comfortable, that we also feel like we're in a safe environment where we can lean on them in our time of need. And I really, really implore you to do more around philanthropy. We are, as Pew Research have shown for the past couple of decades, that the Jewish community, the Muslim community are the most giving, generous communities in this country. And the problem is with us, we're only giving it mostly to Muslim organizations and masajid, and to Muslim causes. But we really need to also start showing our power and our strength by giving money also elsewhere, so that we can cultivate those relationships. And again, all this is political. Like, again, everything we're doing is political. This is not, it's not just about voting. As our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, his just walking is political, and engaging and having these conversations with people that don't look like you and that don't believe it the same way that you do. And I think we need to do more of that. And now to the part.
When she's talking about donating, a lot of Jewish people will donate to Jewish organizations. A lot of Christian people will donate to Christian organizations. So Muslim donating to Muslim organizations, it's kind of par for the course as to what the religion, they're going to donate to what they agree with, to what they side with. You know, think of it like this, and I think you pretty much already understand that. But think of it like this: somebody who's not religious and is open to abortions and all these other things is not going to donate to a church. Like, let's say they're gay or lesbian or believe in abortion or whatever. They're not going to donate to an organization or whatever that is against gay and lesbian people getting married, is against women getting abortions. They're not going to donate to those causes because they don't agree with those causes. Those causes and them don't get along. So Christians are going to donate to Christian, Jewish to Jewish, Muslim to Muslim. I think that's just across the board, you know. I think we can agree with that. I donate to the Hairy Chest organization because I don't have any chest hair. I do.
That everyone is waiting for about politics. Engagement is really, really key right now. One of the things that we're missing, I'll just talk about what we're missing and then go back to some practical things. We do not have, and I just want to say this loudly, we do not have a major political action committee. We don't. There's like one or two in the country. They're small. They only come around every 4 years. We need to, like, unlike AIPAC or Democratic Majority for Israel, there's like hundreds of political action committees that do fundraisers for mayors, to Congress people, to the president. So the problem is we have so much money, we have so much resources, we are so qualified on so many different things, but we have not created a political action committee, whether it's local, regional, or national, to compete with that. And unfortunately, as Kris said, the power comes where money, and until we change the political system or the lobbying system, we're going to be at a disadvantage. So I encourage all of you. I know there are a lot of people that are talking about political action committees. I think it's really important to think thoughtfully. Me personally, I'm working on one. Inshallah, it'll be like, for me, after this situation, I am dedicating and rededicating my life to this, because I know this. I breathe this every day. And so instead of me raising money just to raise money, I have raised, alhamdulillah, over $2 million for causes. But this time is personal, and this time we have to be more strategic about how do we raise money and who we give this money to. So political action committee. So if you guys are interested to create your own, that's really important. But the more important thing.
I want to get into what she said about the I got to turn this off while I'm talking. Not that I don't enjoy the sound of a helicopter roaming overhead. Just edit that last, but you didn't hear that. You're dumb if you did, because I didn't say it. Somebody else did. Okay, so I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, the political thing. I understand what she's saying, but, and this is a big but, big old booty here. There are a couple ladies in the House, Congress, that they, okay, so there are three. They call them the squad. They're Democrats. One is AOC. She's born in the U.S. Then there's two others. I cannot think of the one. And then there's another one. Is her name Ilian Omar? I butchered her name. I apologize. She's born in Somalia. She's Muslim. She lives here. One of them, I think, is out of Minnesota. And I don't know where the other one is. But where they are is not important to what I'm saying. They have taken heat by politicians and certain news organizations that are not for Democrats, who bash them for not coming out in support of Israel. Both of these ladies are Muslim. Both of these ladies would side with Palestinians in that they have family on that side. And they get attacked because they're not defending Israel. So, even if you do get in the political aspect of things, what you might say doesn't go with what is supposed to be the popular opinion. So you're going to get attacked. And if you're going to get attacked and you're in that political arena and you are an organization, that organization is going to take flack. You might end up losing donations. People are going to step away from you. Now, for the other two ladies that I'm talking about, and I can't remember the one lady. Wow, a name just came across and now it's gone. One of those fired through so fast, but now I don't know. Shalida? I don't know. I could look it up, but it's not important. But if she did have a political thing, she would right now be taking heat because she's not coming out against Palestinians. Well, why the hell would she? It's like I'm not gonna bash America because of what it did during World War II. Like, what? Or World War I. Now, look, I don't agree with everything that America has done, and I'll say that. But I just wanted to say that if it's not a popular opinion in this country, you're going to take heat from it. And that would be something that wouldn't be a popular opinion. So she would risk losing donations and stuff like that. And she would become kind of slandered like, oh, her sides with the Palestinians? Well, she's a Muslim. Why wouldn't she? Oh, she should know better. So just because you get into the political arena doesn't mean you're going to get ahead in the end.
Right now that you guys already are doing, but we need to do more of, is we need to start meeting regularly with your mayor. Regularly. Like in San Francisco, I'll give you a poignant example. In San Francisco, we have regular meetings with the district attorney's office. We have regular meetings with the police chief. We have regular meetings sometimes with the FBI. We have regular meeting with the attorney general. We have established relationship. So when someone like me sees a crazy post by an elected official, I can call them on their cell phone and say, hey, do you understand that either you or your staff just tweeted something racist, Islamophobic, and calling our protesters pro-Hamas protesters is an abomination to anything democratic? Those are things that are happening, and we're not going to be able to make those phone calls and have them take down those tweets if we're not organized. And from now on, establishing relationship when there's no crisis.
I just want to quickly push back on what you just said. I may not agree with something someone says. Dealing with this as my channel, I get crap all the time. People say things to me all the time. Call me an idiot because I'm not agreeing with their side. Call me stupid because I don't understand their side. This and that. I don't care. I don't block people. I don't block your comments. They're stupid. Don't agree with them. But you have every right to say them. That's your opinion on the matter. So when she goes after the people who say negative things that she doesn't like and she wants those things removed, that's a dangerous thing to me. I understand it sparks hate. It does this. It does that. Okay. But not everyone reads it that way. Not everyone is going to read it and say, let's take the streets and fight these people. Not everyone does that. Some people read it, and some people read it and overreact. I'm not saying that she's doing that, but when you start to try to censor people who say things that you don't agree with because you believe it hurts you, then why can't someone else censor you because you said something that they don't agree with? And now we're into this thing where, no, you don't have the right to say it. And once you get down that path, people are automatically not listening. You have every right to say something so long as it's not like literally kill that person, set fire to a building. You may say that those people protesting are terrorists. Okay, that's your opinion. But to want to shut them down for that, I disagree. I may not agree with the statement, but as it says, I will stand by your right to say it. Because once we start self-censoring or taking things away, which is something that's going on now, this is something that I never thought I could get in trouble saying. Women don't have penises. What? Yeah, I actually will get scolded by people. It doesn't change my opinion. They have every right to scold me for it. Then after they're done, I go, yeah, but women don't have penises. Like I'm not going to give in to that. Men don't have vaginas. Men can't menstruate. I'm sorry. I know this is shocking news to some people, but I'll never be one of those people who will ever cow down to that. Cow down to that? Remember when I said people say stupid things? Cow down to that is one. I'm just going to stop talking now.
Problem with the community, we only run to them and yell and scream and lose our minds when we're confronted with wars or the Muslim ban. We need to, from day one, and inshallah, whatever, whether it started October 7th.
She said the Muslim ban. The Muslim ban was not put in by Biden. So again, I'm going to go back to something she said. If she believes that things aren't going out the way she wants them to be, and she's telling people to vote, you're kind of hinting to vote for the other person. Well, the other person put in a Muslim ban. I don't want either of the people that will be running to run. They're both old. I want to go in a different direction. I'd like to go younger. One of them's old. One of them's a criminal. That's my opinion. But those are the options right now. I don't wish it to be. And I'm not going to keep running for president. People always ask me. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. I saw what happened to JFK.
7th or 8th or starting tomorrow, you guys need to start from now on, regardless of the city you live in. It is power. Even if you get rejected, you're not. You are a constituent, and we will help you. We're going to start rolling out talking points and words that you need to be using, trigger words that inshallah will get the response that you like. So again, the most important thing, honestly, right now, especially relates to this war, you need to contact the governor's office. You need to contact, I don't know if you've noticed, but the University of California, right? The university has 10 of the best, most important universities in the world right now. The problem is right now, they have ADL and APAC and JCRC and briefing notes from God knows where that are telling them their children and only their children are in harm's way, that their children are feeling safe, that their children are the only ones that are being impacted, while our children are the one being stabbed to death, shot, or ran over. So their response, this is the response of universities recently, is like, well, the Muslim community is not reaching out to us. So why should we provide resources if there's a problem, we would assume they're reaching out to us. So you guys need to understand when you get mad at certain people, you can't get mad also, because if we're not making the effort, if we're not holding them accountable, then that would be a problem. So I really encourage you to start email campaigns directly. This is public information. You are paying taxes. Your taxes are literally employing the mayors, the district attorneys, and the city attorneys. You need to have a cheat sheet. Every city, every community center, every masjid needs to have a cheat sheet of the police, from the mayor to the police chief to the emergency service response unit to the Department of Public Health. The other important thing,
just because you pay their taxes doesn't mean that they automatically work for you. They work to defend the Constitution. They work to defend this and that, to protect the people. You get a campaign going and you forward it to the mayor or the police chief or this or that, doesn't mean they can do anything. You know, if you forward it to the police chief and say, I don't like what these people are saying, the police chief is going to say exactly what I said. They have the right to say it. You forward it to the mayor. What's the alternative when what you're doing doesn't work because nothing can be done about it? That's another thing that has to be taken into consideration. Just because something could be done doesn't mean anything will be done, because it's not legally an option. Sure, you could go kick in a door and arrest all the people for doing what you don't agree that, you know, they're doing something and you don't agree with it, so you want them punished somehow. Sure, we could do that. Okay, now me as an outsider, I say, I don't like what she did, I want her punished for that. So then she goes and gets arrested for that. Well, she'll be like, well, I didn't do anything. Neither did they. And somebody on her side doesn't like that I did something to her because she did something to someone else, so they have me arrested. And I say, why am I arrested when I did the same thing that she did, the same thing that she did to them? And now somebody's done it to me because I did it to her because she did it to them. See what I'm saying? It just becomes this long thing. And I know there's going to be a few people out there, I've got the names in mind. Oh, you're full of shit. Da 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 da. To those people, shut up. How about that? Go take that to a pillow and bite on that pillow and scream into that pillow because I don't give a shit. That's my opinion of you. About two of you in mind.
is language. One thing I realized that our community would do better is if we start, every city needs to now enact, make sure that if Arabic is missing, if you have a large population, right now, just, you know, in San Francisco, anything that goes out through Department of Public Health, we made sure that it's in Arabic and sometime in Urdu, and we pass it out to the masajid and to cultural organizations. And so those are really, really important things that you guys need to consider. The other thing that some of you are not as comfortable with is working on campaigns right away. Even if you don't like the candidate, you need to start understanding the process and the way they think. So I really think it's important. And then the other one thing that a lot of you don't like to do is fundraising. Now, the reason fundraising is important is that's unfortunately how this game is played. I'm just going to be honest with you. I just attended a major event with Biden in San Francisco, and half of the people on there was from lobbying groups. Half. There was, you know, I don't have $125,000 or $250,000 a co-host and put my name Hala Hijazi or the Muslim community or whatever. But half of the people on that host committee are the people that are telling him no ceasefire. Just listen to that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're running out of time, and I just wanted to get Kris to just maybe host a couple of questions, and then, but I really appreciate I know you've been working tirelessly for a long time in this area, and you're one of our community's probably, you know, most knowledgeable people about how this system works. So I think, you know, we should take seriously your advice and what you're saying. Gibran?
Bismillah. So here's one question. Khanedi's book is distinguished by its usage of manuscript and other primary sources, something that's not always found in books exploring topics like this on contemporary geopolitics and so on. Which of these insights were novel to you as someone who is an expert in the topic?
So yeah, I agree. That is part of that gives the book a lot more texture because his family was a very prominent Palestinian family that dealt directly with the Zionist settler movement, and he had relatives who had prominent positions, and he uses it to describe the relationship between the Zionist settlers and members of his family and how duplicitous they were, how they worked very, very hard to mask the settler colonial project that they privately knew was going to lead to the expulsion of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians and the seizure of Palestinian land and property. So that was really interesting. And I think the other thing is that most of his family was very highly educated, and at the time, certainly if you go back a century ago, a large number of the inhabitants in historic Palestine were probably not even literate, and he contrasts that. So his relatives, he had one relative who spoke fluent German and understood completely because he could read the Austrian press. He could read the kinds of things Chaim Weizmann was writing and saying, but how that lack of that educational disparity, he uses his personal family to show how that lack of understanding made it very difficult for the Palestinians, the indigenous inhabitants of Palestine, to understand what was happening to them.
Thank you.
All right.
Another question we had was,
Hey.
do you think the fallout and scale of recent events might
no one's
mean
talking. No one's talking. Okay. Hi. You guys didn't hear any of that. So we're just going to run it back to there. Okay. So we're going to end that here. And we're going to bring it back to the sixth and final part. It is adorable, but it does it. I don't hear it until I put the mic on, and then I keep wanting to look up, like, would that helicopter pass already? Okay, so we're gonna end this here. There's a thanks button on the channel. You can donate. You can request videos if you donate. You can request videos without donating. They just take longer. There's also a subscribe button. What did I say? There's also a subscribe button and a bell button, I guess. Hit both of them. Unless you've already hit the subscribe button, then don't hit that one. Hit the bell. It's for notifications and ding-dings and stuff like that. And thumbs up button. Click that. That helps. Thumbs down button. No. No. You don't want to hit that. The thumbs down button. Every time you hit that, it goes to the FBI. They put you on the pedophile watch. Yeah. Well, it's got to be a fact. You can't lie on YouTube. Have a good day. Have a good night.